Well, it's that time of the week again, and this time it is show 200 of JT in the Raw. He's my rock star, my dancing girl in the background to help celebrate 200 shows. And this week, I'm going to give you 11 different ideas, actually 11 plus 1, different ideas around success moving forward. And I'm hoping that
11 plus 1 is 12, just so you know.
Oh, thank you. You're so clever. See, it's raw. Who knows what's going to happen in this show? But I'm going to give you 11 plus 1 ideas around success. For those that are just joining us for the first time, whether live or on replay, this is JT in the Raw, a weekly show where I chew the thin on business. And after 30 years in business, I have just a few thins to chew. And this show started 4 years ago with a commitment to you guys, my Facebook friends, of a 12-week show. Hey, welcome to the first edition of JT in the Raw. And I'm hanging out with my family here on the sunny Australia's Gold Coast for a long weekend. Later in the show, I'm going to tell you why I'm up here. My thought process was, quite simply, what the hell is this Facebook Live thing? If I am going to suggest that this needs to be done by my clients, I need to get a better idea of what it is. So I committed to 12 weeks. You guys watched it. 200 shows later. And I think it's been viewed, JT and the Raws have been viewed nearly 200,000 times, about 185, 6, 7, however many times. So thank you to everybody that's watched the show, whether one show or all 200 shows. I know some of you watched 200, so thank you. I really appreciate everybody coming on each week, and I hope in some way, maybe a little way or large way, I have helped you become a better leader, maybe even a better person. Who knows? Who knows? But this week, it is all about making success. Yes, Zoe?
I'm reading the screen.
Oh, Maddie Fletcher said proud of you. And thank you, Maddie Fletcher. Thanks, Frosty. Braxy, good morning. How is everybody? All right, here we go. Let's rip into these 11 plus 1 ideas. Number 1, Maddie, you just used it in your little phrase there, in your little post. In order to be successful, you need commitment. You need commitment. If you want to be successful, you have to be all in. You can't be half in on an idea. You've got to be all in. You have to be fully committed. The greater your commitment, the greater the result. Let me say that again. The greater the commitment, the greater the result. So the first step to being successful, whether that be a successful parent, whether that be a successful boyfriend, girlfriend, lover, or all of the above, whether you want to be a successful real estate agent, fitness professional, whatever it is, C, commitment. The next one is objective. It makes it a whole lot easier to be successful when you know the goal. It's so much easier when you're going for a drive that you've plugged in the destination into your sat-nav. When you know where you're heading, an objective makes a huge difference. So whether it's a meeting that you've got, whether it's a marketing piece that you're designing, in fact, if there's anything in life that you are doing, always start with the objective in mind, the final objective. What do you want it to look like when you finish? And then let's go backwards to where it started. Objective. N for now. Now, I think it's really important that you remain relevant with your conversations, with your content, and your engagement. So you need to be in the now. When you're chatting with staff, you need to be present with them. There are so many different levels of what now means, but suffice to say, in order to be successful, you must be present. You must be present. Your content must be about now. You physically must be present. You mentally must be present. To be successful, think of now. Strategic. The easiest place as a business leader, the easiest place is to be in the operational space. You see, the operational space requires no innovative thinking. It is very much cookie cutter approach. When you start thinking strategically, you use the grey matter, you use the brain. And ladies and gents, it's that innovation that leads to growth. And it is hard work being in the strategic space. The strategic space makes you work. It is hard. So if you are going to be a leader, you have to think strategically. Operationally, simple. Strategically, hard. But it's at the strategy space where the results are massive. My next tip to be successful, a successful leader on a footy field, in a business field, is to be intrigued. I think you have to ask questions. I think you have to be curious. You have to be interested. You have to be intrigued. You have to ask questions. You have to be curious on all topics. I never forget when I first started my job in the fitness industry, I never knew if this was actually going to be a career. I had no idea. So everybody I would tour around a gym trying to sell them a membership, I was asking them about their job. I was trying to decide whether their job was a job that I actually wanted, whether that's what I wanted. And so I was genuinely intrigued and interested in their job to help me to determine if that's what I wanted to do. And I think that's what made me a great salesperson when I was younger. That general interest, that general intrigue. So if you want to be successful, you also need to be intrigued. You need to be curious. Ask questions. Learn more. Sean Lestrange, g'day mate. How you doing? Hope you are fine, fit and healthy. Next one, special. Special. You need to make everything special. You need to make everyone feel special. I do my very best to make people feel special when they watch this show. So if I see them pop up, I give them a shout out. I try to make the people that I work with feel special by acknowledging their efforts. In life, we don't need necessarily to be giving what would you call it? Material goods in order to make people feel special. Just recognizing making them feel special is important enough. Acknowledging them is a critical component for your success. Alan Leach, good evening, over there in Dublin. Is it 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock in Dublin, Alan? Sean Lestrange, yes, you are opening tomorrow. Big day. Big day for all gyms in New South Wales as they reopen tomorrow. Very exciting for gyms. Timely. I think this is an important component. If we think about this, our time is critical. When you give a time frame to somebody, stick to that time frame. Being timely is critical in your success. You give someone a time frame, you stick to that time frame, because that is setting expectations. E for energy. Energy. Your personal energy levels are infectious, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to be successful, your energy levels are infectious. So you need to have that high energy. So if you're going to lead a business, if you're going to lead a department, if you're going to lead a team, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to lead a family, you need energy. And to get energy, you have to exercise. No shit, Sherlock. No surprise that at some stage in my little formula for success, I'm going to mention working out. I'm going to mention exercise. I don't care if you walk. I don't care if you pump iron, CrossFit. I don't care if you do Zumba in your lounge room. I don't care what you do. Moving and moving often is critical to your energy levels, and your energy levels are critical to your success. Energy, energy, energy. Not once. My next tip to being successful is not once. You cannot expect to be successful the first go. Sometimes we fluke it. Sometimes the very first time we have a crack at something, it works. And that is bloody awesome. And we pat ourselves on the back. But some of the world's greatest inventions, some of the greatest innovations were not home runs on the very first go. We have to remember that. Some of the best things were not achieved the very first time. Patience and perseverance is the key. So we don't try things once, not once. We try multiple times. Patience, perseverance leads to success. Not once is a key factor to success. Celebrate. Sometimes we forget about this when we're successful, is we forget about to celebrate. So I want you to think about taking time to acknowledge your personal success, your team's success, and I want you to celebrate. Now, we can't high five at the moment, but we can virtually hug. We can elbow bump maybe, if we've got long elbows. Times will return to normal. And when they do, we need to acknowledge success. We need to acknowledge success. So celebrate, 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 because that reinforces the positive behavior and that leads to more success. The last of my tips, this is number 11. If you're just joining us live or on replay, this is number 11. I will go over them very shortly for you again, just by title. But number 11 is why. It's a really important one to me, and anybody that's watched any JTs in the Raw in the past will know that I'm a huge fan of Simon Sinek, and I'm a huge fan of his book, Start With Why. And so my finishing tip for you, ladies and gentlemen, on tips to be successful is why. Remember why you do what you do. I open today's show with a little guest, and that is Zoe. My daughter, who is 11, means so much to me, as all kids do to all parents. And why I do what I do is I get up every single day to get and encourage businesses to have people move and move more often so that we can reduce the healthcare costs, not just in our country, but healthcare costs around the world, so that that money can be spent on opportunities to make this world better for my daughter, rather than spending that money on an aging, sickening population to keep them alive. My why is to reduce the healthcare costs around the globe so that Zoe can grow up in a world full of opportunities that governments can deliver to this new generation, because they can spend money on them rather than an aging, sickening population. I'm very clear on my why. It gives me my focus every day. My question for you is, are you clear on your why? When you know your why, when you can articulate your why, then you are on the road to success. So whether you're joining now live or on replay, let me go through those 11 tips before sharing the +1 with you. Those 11 tips again. Commitment, objective, now, strategic, intrigued, special, timely, energy, not once, celebrate, and why. Do one of these resonate with you? You know I love engagement on a JTinTheRaw show. So if one of these resonate with you as a key component to success, perhaps something that you could work on, something that resonates with you for success, love you to put it in the comments below. You don't have to put the whole word, just put the first letter. If it resonates with you, whether you're watching live or on replay, put the first letter. Commitment, objective, now, strategic, intrigued, special, timely, not once, celebrate, and why. How did I come up with those 11 tips? And what is this +1 tip to being successful? Well, I think one of the reasons why JTinTheRaw has been successful for me is my consistency. Same time every single week. For 4 years, it is about being consistent for me, wherever in the world it may be. But at the same time, every single week, I jump online and I share my thoughts around leadership and business for you guys to help you become better. No other reason, but to help you become better. It's my way of giving back. But I've consistently done it. I've done it at 11 o'clock at night in a cafe, in a hotel in Manchester. I've done it in Times Square. I remember once I actually did it flying home from the US, and I was in a Dallas Cowboys, because they're my NFL team, a Dallas Cowboys store in Dallas Airport. Under all circumstances, my life stops at 8 o'clock to deliver JTinTheRaw. Consistency, ladies and gentlemen. That is the +1. That is the +1. I honestly believe with all my heart, you can have commitment to something. You can have an objective. You can have a now. You can be at now. You can be strategic in your thinking for innovation. You can be intrigued. You can make people feel special. It can be timely. You can have as much energy as you like. You can keep persevering with not once. You can celebrate. And you can be clear on your why. But if you are not consistently delivering what you promise, then you are fucked. You will not get that success that you strive for. Whether that's a rugby player on a footy field, or whether it's the salesperson, or whether it's the manager of a team, or the manager of a department, or the manager of a business. If you do not have consistency, then you will not deliver success. And that is the key message for me in JTinTheRaw show 200 is consistency. That is the +1, but that is the glue that puts all of those together, consistency. So it won't surprise you that at the end of every show, especially show 200, quote of the week is consistency. It's one word. Quote of the week is one word, consistency. Ladies and gentlemen, JTinTheRaw is something that I really enjoy. I hope it adds value to you. I hope you get benefit out of this. And if you do, hit me up with a love heart. Tag someone in the comments if you think they might get some benefit out of understanding consistency and the importance, or what makes up consistency to be successful. Please tag them in the comments or hit the share button. Please keep coming back each week. I'm on the same time every week. I'm going for another 200 shows. If you guys keep watching, I'm going to keep delivering this stuff. Because every week I learn. Every time I meet with a client, chat with a client, or simply live life, I learn. And it's at this opportunity that I get to share my learnings with you. So I really appreciate everybody watching. I appreciate everybody joining in and having some fun with JTinTheRaw. What started as an experiment is now part of my life. And for some of you, I know it's part of yours. So thank you, and I'm very grateful. Remember, quote of the week, consistency. Consistency. If you got any value out of the show, as always, I would appreciate it if you shared it or tagged people in the comments below. I hope you have an awesome weekend. Stay safe, wash your hands, and... So I hope you come back for another edition and tell me what you think below. Let me finish with a little quote that I read this week that meant a lot to me. There are no traffic jams when you go the extra mile. Have a good one. I'll catch you on the flip side.